So, I've got this friend Tad. And Tad's taste in movies sucks. And this movie is the single most excruciatingly boring thing that Sarah Michelle Gellar has ever done. I mean, outside of Buffy. This is The Return. The film starts with a man taking his daughter to the cliché. I mean the carnival. You'll have to forgive my slip there. After all...
Don't go too far on it. Joanna!
Yes, what a refreshing and unique moment in cinema. It's also the first scene, which means we don't give a fuck about Joanna or her father. He does find her, though, freaking out under a table where she karate chops a bottle and then magically cuts her leg open 2 seconds later.
What's the matter?
It's a man.
What's the matter, honey?
A man, Daddy.
What man? What happened?
Oh, it's a man.
Yes, at crowded amusement parks, there often are. We then cut to, I don't know, 10 years later, maybe, and we find Joanna desaturated of color and getting ready for her day. Anyway, several minutes of absolute nothing later, we meet Joanna's boss, Ambrose, and her co-worker, Kurt.
I know Marlon. Okay, most of the grain providers he deals with are guys I sold contracts to. They're my clients.
That mean you're the one to blame for 3 of them walking away in the last 6 months?
We're poached, Ambrose, you know that. Look, all I'm saying is, I'm a known guy down there, okay? I'm an entity. If anyone's gonna try to sell Marlon, it should be me.
Because needlessly long scene padding and desaturated color schemes weren't enough, The Return piles on the excitement by introducing the viewer to the competitive world of grain sales. I really don't know if I can sit through this alone again.
Joanna?
Hi.
I thought you were in Gaithersburg.
I sold them yesterday afternoon. Didn't have to stay. Here's all your signed paperwork.
Oh, this is outstanding.
Where do you want me next?
Well, you tell me. Where are your leads?
I'd like the chance to go after Marlon.
But Kurt just said he wanted to go after Marlon. I think I hear a conflict developing. Except I don't.
A friend of mine works in one of his refineries. She can get me 5 minutes with him tomorrow.
This is a joke. Is this a joke? Marlon's out of her league.
Movie, you cannot create tension over who gets to sell grain. I'm sure this Marlon guy is a huge asshammer who just throws salespeople around like scraps of cheese, but it doesn't matter because you're talking about fucking grain sales. Oh, and apparently Kurt's last name is Wagner. Or Wagner. Or whatever.
Kurt, what are you doing?
Marlon was my lead.
Let me go.
Rough. I like it. From what I remember, you like that. I'll get a beer with you. Yeah, sure. Just tell me when.
Then the driving begins.
Hey, Michelle. I'm gonna need those 5 minutes with Marlon tomorrow.
How did I know? Coming home to make a sale, not to see your oldest and dearest friend.
Mom, that's not fair.
Yes, it is. That's all you are doing, mother of cock!
I just want you to know the last couple of reps got tossed out on their ass in a matter of seconds. He's not an easy man.
I know. I'll be prepared.
Boy, they sure are laying it on that this Marlon guy is a fucking brute. I sure do hope this character has an impact on the excitement level in this film, because so far it's fucking nothing! Hang on. I'm gonna call my cousin, see if he'll help me watch this fucking thing. Hello? Hey, Donkey.
My name's Duncan, you prick. You know this. Stop calling me Donkey. I'm not a little kid anymore, okay? What do you want?
I'm watching a movie and making fun of Tad, but it's really fucking boring, and I thought maybe you'd want to come watch it with me?
Are you being serious right now?
Yes?
Oh, give me a break. Anytime I ever want to watch a movie, all you ever do is bitch and complain about it the entire time. How did Edward make it snow, you say? The first half of Backdraft is completely irrelevant, you say. Anytime I try to watch Buffy now, all I hear is your nitpicky voice just piercing through my skull. You ruined Buffy for me, Sam, and I just don't think I'm prepared to forgive you for that.
Well, this one has Sarah Michelle Gellar in it?
Oh yeah? Which one?
The Return?
Oh, fuck off.
Shit. Okay, so we're still driving, and then the same song starts playing on every radio station, even popping up when Joanna puts in a presumably unrelated CD. Apparently her reaction to this is to stare into her truck's headlights and walk backward. Okay. She then finds herself amidst a car accident that appeared out of nowhere. Okay again. So she checks that out for a bit, and then this happens. Okay. What the hell was that? She's in a field now, and her scar is open, and the accident's gone, so did someone come and clean it up? But leave her truck and not notice her in a field? Or was this all a hallucination and she just has secret mental problems? You could tell me something, movie. Whatever, we finally get Marlon in the movie, and, well, he kinda just looks like your friend's dad. But I don't care. Come on, Marlon, make this movie happen!
Look, come over to Hogmiller and I'll cut my commission by 3%.
It's a generous offer.
We'd really like to do business with you.
I'll bet all your customers love you.
Gotta beat 'em off with a stick at times.
Oh, I get it. Every time a character said that Marlon was a bullheaded jerk, they were being really fucking sarcastic. So glad we spent all that effort building him up like he was going to fucking do something! So later, Joanna calls her friend, and the voice of the creepy guy from the carnival comes through the call.
Hello?
You alright? It's alright, sweetie. I just want to talk to you.
Michelle?
I just want to talk to you, that's it. It's alright, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
What about bored? Can I be bored? So Joanna meets her friend at a bar, and then she feels sick for no reason. And then this happens. In a fairly confusing way, she hallucinates entering a different bar.
How you doing there, Sunshine? Sunshine, how you doing?
Yes, we get it. The bad guy says sunshine a lot. Then she walks into a phone booth and stabs herself. And then her friend finds her in the restroom. Even when it's completely fucking nuts. It's fucking boring. I'm gonna check with another cousin real quick.
Hello?
Hey, buddy.
Oh. Hey, Sammy. What's up?
Hey, I'm watching this dripping shit of a movie. You want to help me?
No. Not really. I'm kind of busy.
Please?
Who's in the movie? Like, is there anyone hot in the movie?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Is it Scooby-Doo?
No.
I'd totally watch Scooby-Doo.
No.
Is it Possession?
No.
Harvard Man?
No.
Is it Cruel Intentions?
No.
I'd totally watch Cruel Intentions.
No.
Hot girls in that one.
Buddy?
Scooby-Doo 2. The second Scooby-Doo movie.
No. Why did it take you that long to get to Scooby-Doo 2?
The Return.
Yes?
Bye.
Joe, these things you saw tonight, what were they?
There was a bar. Didn't have a name. It was just bread.
Someplace we've been?
No.
You must know it from somewhere.
Yeah, or not. But of course, prompted by nothing more than a solitary hallucination while admittedly not feeling well, Joanna is instantly obsessed with finding the place in her dream. And does. So, after the returning to Texas, Joanna more specifically returns to her childhood home to see her dad. They have an awkward conversation. And then Joanna opts to spend the night in her old room. We then see that in her youth, she drew seahorses. And she has a glass one. Fuck it, she had one in her truck too. I wasn't gonna mention it, but we've gone from grain sales heat to seahorse motifs, so moving on up!
What happened in LaSalle, Dad?
LaSalle? Why would you ask me that?
Because I need to know.
What makes her think something happened? Does she have a history of experiencing psychic phenomenon? Because if she does, fucking tell us! Otherwise, what is she basing this on?
You became violent. You started seeing things. You started to hurt yourself. The doctor said we were lucky you didn't hit an artery. He said it was some kind of breakdown. You were a whole different girl after that, Joanna.
Okay, but what happened? You know what? Fine. Let's pretend that's an answer to that question while Joanna returns to LaSalle.
Room?
No. Bell. Room upstairs.
Room number 5, upstairs.
Yeah, now you've got it.
Name's Bella. Let me know if you need anything.
Okay, how about a hotel that's still in business? That night, Joanna enters the Red Bar and...
Oh, hey. Ready for that beer now?
After all, I just happened to be here. Joanna tries to leave, and Kurt gets all grabby, and a local mute steps in to set Kurt straight, and then lets him obviously go after her. not the only one that can teleport, shithead. Something interesting almost happens when the stranger beats the fuck out of Kurt, but that really only results in Kurt bamfing out of the movie for good.
Quite a scuffle last night.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Been a while since we've seen anything like that around here.
Then again, this is an abandoned building.
That guy who helped me last night, do you know who he was?
His name's Terry Stahl.
And do you know where I might find him?
Of course she does. So, Joanna goes out to Terry's house to thank him for busting up the rape process.
Hello? Anybody home?
Oh, come on. Human beings do not do this. You do not just walk into a stranger's house uninvited. Who writes this shit? So she dicks around doing fuck all and then gets chased out by phantom footsteps. Seriously.
What are you doing?
Excellent question. While sleeping, Joanna is awakened when someone tries to enter her room. She hides under the bed, and when the creepy guy says the word he has to shoehorn into every sentence,
Sunshine.
she instantaneously runs out of the room.
I looked all over. There's nobody up there.
You sent the old woman to go find the intruder? I don't even know how to make fun of that. And now she's walking all over the auction grounds, when she could have just found the guy and it wouldn't have had any effect on the story, but no, let's keep wasting my fucking time! I know that I'm complaining a lot about the boredom level in this film, but I don't know if it's really coming across, because I'm hacking off as much of the excessively long shots of nothingness and the emotionally devoid conversations as possible. So, I want you to watch here as the movie itself gets caught daydreaming during a scene change.
Buy you lunch?
So you like the road?
Very much. Not really my nature to stay in one place for any stretch of time. Sometimes I think if I keep moving forward, nothing bad can catch me.
See? What the hell was that? It was like the cameraman just nodded off real quick and had to jolt awake and then scrambled to find the actors that were talking. This movie just put itself to sleep, people. I seriously cannot do this alone. I gotta call somebody.
Hello?
Oh, sorry, I must have dialed the wrong number.
Wait. I know that stupid fucking voice. Is this Sammy Kablam?
Yes?
You ruined my career, you arrogant little shit. Do you know how hard it is to make it in this business?
No? Who is this?
Every time I walk into an audition, someone shouts, "Hey, there's Jackie Fuckmouth."
Oh.
My friends call me Fuckmouth.
I'm sure they're just...
My husband calls me Fuckmouth.
Well, if anybody should.
I don't know how our paths crossed on this day, you ass-bag little shit. But I'm warning you now. If I ever find you within reach of a taser, you're gonna wake up in a world of suffering that will make you wish you could watch Basket Weave on repeat just to lessen the pain.
So you won't be pledging to my Patreon?
Oh, don't play with me, boy. I will end you.
So, after making my soul weep from disinterest, they part ways. Joanna heads to her car, and creepy guy appears and chases her into a barn or something. This is probably the most tedious scene in the movie because you're constantly reminded it's supposed to be a high-tension action scene, but it's not. And it's probably not really any duller than the rest of the film, but the fact that you know it should be exciting is what makes it so much more irritating. Although, the conclusion is kind of funny.
It's all right, sweetie. I just want to talk to you.
I wonder if I should call the cops because I probably just killed a guy. Nah. Joanna hits her hotel room to pack her things and leave, and the movie tries again to convince us that the annoying song means something.
Sweet.
But it doesn't. She arrives at Terry's house and lets herself in again because she doesn't learn well. This time she even goes rifling through his stuff before heading into his barn. Therein she finds a mural on the wall just like a picture she drew as a child. Then we see intercuts of creepy guy attacking Annie, and Joanna stabs herself. Terry shows up just in time, well after nightfall, and takes her right to the hospital to treat that knife to the gut situation. Or he puts her on his couch.
Who did this to you?
I did.
What?
I did it to myself.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm glad we cleared that up. The next day, Joanna is perfectly fine.
Annie. What happened to her?
I found her lying in the barn, just like I found you. Someone had left her there to die, and all eyes fell on me.
Well, the audience knows it wasn't you. You obviously weren't wrongly sent to prison, and Annie is a complete non-character. So we finally get information, and I have no reason to care.
Why are you digging all of this up? Who are you?
I don't know!
Honestly, at this point, it's just nice to hear the movie ask itself the same questions I would like to ask. And with just as much aggression. And then, after Terry throws her out for being weird, she decides to stop and get a snack for the drive. At a bumble scum body shop in the middle of nowhere that might not even have vending machines. And what does she happen to find there?
Okay. So, let's say it's 1, 2, 3. Hello? 475. What's wrong, sunshine?
Well, shine my shoes. What are the odds that she would stop at the one place where she'd happen to find the creepy guy? That certainly was lucky. She then goes into the guy's junkyard and finds the assault weapon in a car's gas tank. Which is also really lucky considering Annie was still alive when he put the knife there and she didn't see it happen. Anyway, she drives away at top speed only to have creepy guy appear in front of her and run her off the road. She looks tremendously dead, so the next thing you know, she's running through the woods. And while creepy guy chases her, the movie starts showing us all the correlations between Annie and Joanna. Sure, we already solved that burning seahorse mystery, but remember that time that Joanna hid under a bed and then ran away? Well, the same thing happened to Annie. Oh, and that really important song that kept recurring? Well, here's where it came from.
Sunshine.
That's right. Record player turned on by accident while she was attacked. And the song started right about the time she left the room, which means she heard about 2 measures of it before she was out of earshot. That's why it was such an important part of the story. It was just such a prominent factor. Anyway, during the intercuts, creepy guy locks himself in the barn with Joanna.
Where you at, girl? Where you hiding, huh?
You a fast little bunny, aren't you?
Fuck, even your climax dicks around. Hey! Have you been there this whole time?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you help me make fun of this movie?
That's not my job and you didn't ask? Besides, it sounds boring as hell.
It would have been fun if we'd attacked it together.
Oh yes, sounds like a real hoot.
Anyway, Terry appears and instantly gets beat down by a creepy guy. They show that Annie's leg was cut in the absolutely least traumatic part of the ordeal, and then Joanna stabs Creepy in the torso. However, this movie has taught us that torso wounds are as deadly as flea bites, so they make sure to stab him in the neck to kill him. And since the story is effectively over, we get the big reveal now, right? So, after being attacked, Terry is rushing Annie to the hospital while Ed is driving with little Joanna. Ed pulls over to help Joanna in the back seat, and Terry looks at Annie long enough to smash into the station wagon.
Joanna! Joanna!
Annie?
Joanna! Joanna! Honey, Joanna!
That was the titular The Return? But before I start ranting, they indicate that Annie has possessed Joanna's body, and then this happens. Like I said, that is the titular The Return? Joanna dies in the crash, and her dead body is instantly possessed by the also dead in the crash Annie? How? If Joanna died, that means her body stopped working and was given no assistance in resuscitating. I can handle a simple possession theory, but with basically 0 time being dead, the spirit of Annie knows how to possess and resuscitate a dead body? If she could do that, why didn't she just use her own? Hell, if you know how to do that stuff upon immediate death, why didn't Joanna do it to herself? The fuck, why doesn't everybody? And okay, let's say that Joanna was only knocked out in that crash. Why the fuck would Annie possess her if she was still alive? Why haunt a total stranger's childhood instead of remaining in spirit form hanging around the person you claim to love so that you could eventually contact them directly? She even says right before the crash,
I'll find you again.
Guess what, lady? He's right fucking beside you. If you'd stuck with him when you died, you wouldn't have to find him again. So this whole fucking thing is your fucking fault. Joanna should have had nothing to do with it. The whole movie should have been you trying to communicate with Terry and not a story about an idiot possessing a little dead girl for no fucking reason. And it's clearly supposed to be possession too, because they say things like,
You were a whole different girl after that, Joanna.
And show stuff like, to imply that Annie is inside her. So, what's with the radio business? What's with the invisible ghost apparently running down Terry's stairs? What's with the images of the young rapist guy chasing her around? A possession and a free-floating entity are two vastly different concepts. And speaking of the haunting elements, let's see what they used as connections. Seahorse's creepy guy, the cut on her leg, the car crash, and the song. Well, the cut on her leg they never mention, so fuck that. The song had nothing to do with anything except it made Joanna pull over once because the movie tried to make us think it was important, but it fucking wasn't! If you needed Joanna to stop at the scene with the car accident, why did you need the stupid fucking song to freak her out? I'm fairly certain that anyone would stop upon seeing such an accident in the street to see if help was needed. And if she recognized the scene as having happened to her years earlier, why didn't she fucking react to it? And sure, the creepy guy was the killer, but not once did the visions of the creepy guy mention his name, and again, Ghostly Annie is showing this guy to a complete fucking stranger! You'd think that after the first 10 years of it, she'd try something new! And what was the point of the seahorses? And why didn't Ghostly Annie just present herself to Joanna? And if Terry and Annie were so close, why the fuck was Annie living in a hotel room? And look at this! Why didn't Ed pull over better? And why the fuck is this R backwards? But most importantly, Tad! It's really good to be back.